this! Tornado Sword!
Back in the day when superhero shows like Power Rangers became pretty regular entertainment, we didn't have much of an idea of the concept of flawed heroes. At that time, Power Rangers were the symbol of courage and teamwork. So when all of a sudden one of the teammates chose the wrong path and turned against their own team, it came as a shock to everyone. There are some iconic examples of such betrayals in the Power Rangers franchise where mind manipulation turned a brave fighter into a mindlessly evil fighter. In today's video, I'm going to talk about all these evil Power Ranger villains who went to the wrong side of the tracks. So let's begin.
To the fall of Zordon and the destruction of the Power Rangers!
Tommy Oliver. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers first aired on Fox Kids Network in 1993 in the United States. They are very powerful and are unique Rangers in the entire franchise. Their power usually comes from harnessing this Morphin grid through some dinosaur-themed power coins, which would give them super strength, super speed, and all of those powers. So in their group, there was one conflicted soul named Tommy Oliver, played by Jason David Frank. He just arrived in Angel Grove Town, a very confident guy, extremely talented in martial arts. Even his skills caught the Red Ranger's attention from the very beginning. But someone else was also intrigued by his skills, and that was Rita Repulsa, a very crucial antagonist of the story. Rita straight up wanted to exploit his powers because that was the only way she could get to the Power Rangers and dismantle their group. So she kidnapped Oliver and brainwashed him using some evil spells and a corrupted dragon power coin that turned Oliver into an evil Green Ranger. After that, an evil Oliver came back to the team, but under Rita's spells and in a completely sinister way. He got more and more ruthless and aggressive as the spell grew stronger. Even in one of the earliest missions, he attacked the command center of the Rangers and disabled Alpha 5. The team got weak and vulnerable, and soon realized they would have to break Tommy free of Rita's curse. Meanwhile, Rita had given Oliver a special weapon called the Sword of Darkness. Now this would make him even stronger and more violent while also maintaining the spell on him, so it was difficult for the Rangers to actually stop him. However, after defeating 5 Rangers in a battle and realizing the serious harm he had caused to his team, Oliver began to realize the change. Ultimately, he got freed of the spell by breaking the sword and rejoined the team to fight against Rita. Ryan Mitchell. The next Ranger I'm going to talk about was actually corrupted by an evil demon in some kind of biblical way. Yes, I'm talking about Ryan Mitchell, played by Rhett Fisher in Power Ranger Lightspeed Rescue. And did you know that he was the first ever American exclusive Power Ranger without having any connection with the Japanese version? Lightspeed Rescue was released in 2000 as part of the long-running franchise of Power Rangers. The story is set in the coastal city of Mariner Bay, where a public service organization called Lightspeed Rescue rises and creates an enforcement team of Power Rangers. They were assigned to protect the world from evil energies and crimes. But one of them, Ryan, was pretty corrupt from the start. So Ryan was basically the son of Captain William Mitchell, the commander of Lightspeed Rescue. But when Ryan was just a child, William faced a terrible car accident. Their car crashed, and they kept hanging over the edge of a cliff, a very dangerous situation with no one there to save them. If William were to save his little daughter, he would have to sacrifice his son, so it was a terrible mess. But right at that time, an evil demon called Diabolico appeared to reap the benefit of the situation. He offered William a deal that he could save his son, but the only condition was that he would be the one to raise him. Having no other choice, William complied with him, and Diabolico saved the child and took him away. Now, growing up, Ryan had no connection with his actual family, and Diabolico, on top of that, fed him all kinds of wrong information about his father. He said to Ryan that it was William who had abandoned him to grow resentment in his mind. Ryan actually became very resentful towards his father and wanted to take revenge on him by attacking Lightspeed Rescue. On his 20th birthday, when Diabolico asked him to steal a titanium morpher, Ryan turned into a titanium ranger and attacked the group. However, after he finally confronted his father, the captain told him the truth, breaking his illusion that he had grown up with. Now, Ryan turned against the demon and joined forces with Lightspeed Rescue to defeat Diabolico. Although there was a cursed cobra tattoo in Ryan's body which could kill him every time he used his powers, Ryan chose to side with the Order and destroyed the tattoo to break the curse once and for all. Hunter and Blake Bradley. Ninja Storm needs no introduction. Low-key one of the best of all time in the whole franchise, and I don't know about you guys, but I always loved the Ninja Turtle influence on these Ranger battles, so this must be on this list. So the two most tragic personalities in this story were Hunter and Blake Bradley, who we also know as the Crimson Thunder Ranger and Navy Thunder Ranger. The show first aired in 2003 on the ABC network, and ever since, these characters have become our favorites. Hunter was played by Adam Tuominen, and Blake was played by Jorgito Vargas. Their story had many ups and downs, but the most tragic thing that happened in their childhood was their adoptive parents' death and the mysterious disappearance of the Thunder Academy where they were trained. Now, an alien villain called Lothor took them away and told them all kinds of lies about the leader of the Wind Academy. He convinced the brothers that it was the Wind Academy leader, Sensei Watanabe, who destroyed their childhood. So from the very start, they grew vindictive and resentful of him. While Hunter was more aggressive, Blake was obedient to his brother, but a little more composed. They attacked the Wind Rangers multiple times, trying to dismantle them. But in the end, the Wind Rangers came to confront them with the truth that they had nothing to do with Thunder Academy's destruction. Lothor had been manipulating the brothers ever since, and it finally became clear to the brothers, so they got out of that mind game and turned against Lothor instead. Shane Clark, Tori Hansen, and Dustin Brooks. Ninja Storm once appeared in a crossover with Dino Thunder, and things went horribly wrong there. In 2004, Dino Thunder started airing on the ABC network, and in some episodes, Ninja Storm Power Rangers were featured in some intense battles with their very known enemy Lothar. But before they defeat him once again, the Wind Rangers had a sudden transformation in their characters. Shane Clark, played by Pua Magasiva, was the Red Wind Ranger, Tori Hansen, played by Sally Martin, was the Blue Wind Ranger, and Dustin Brooks, played by Glenn McMillan, was the Yellow Wind Ranger. Now, these three weren't easy to get compromised, but after they defeated Lothor in a battle and captured him as a war prisoner, there was one mistake they made. So in this crossover episode, they went to save the Dino Thunder team, while Lothor found an opportunity to escape the prison. He impersonated their commander Sensei Watanabe and met the Rangers in a very suspicious way, handing them the morphers for their upgrade, but instead of upgrading them, the Wind Morphers corrupted their minds. So instead of rescuing Dino Thunder, they started attacking them brutally. The Dino Thunder team realized that they had been compromised, so they did their best to free them from the spells, and it was a success eventually. Shane, Tori, and Dustin finally got back their senses and sided with the Dino team to defeat Lothor once again.
Laser arrows.
Trent Fernandez Mercer. Since we're speaking of Dino Thunder, we shall not forget about Trent Fernandez Mercer, the White Dino Ranger. Played by Jeff Perazzo, Trent was adopted by a brilliant scientist named Dr. Anton Mercer, but that was not just his identity. Mercer was basically living a double life because nobody knew that he was the dinosaur-themed warlord Mesagog, who was a major antagonist of Dino Thunder. Trent was a bit of an introverted guy. He was private and very curious when he was young. One day, he found a weird artifact in his father's laboratory. It was a white dino gem, which was not necessarily a good influence on a human because it had its own will to control the host and was terribly corrupted. So it did what it was meant to do. With mind-manipulating powers, the artifact put Trent under Mesogog's control, and then he started working for Mesogog's will, which was to destroy the Dino Thunder team. After his bonding with the gem, he became very powerful with supernatural strength and speed, as well as a weapon named Dragon Sword, with the help of which he attacked the original team of Dino Thunder quite a few times. Mesogog wanted to dominate Trent completely, so he tried to take the Dragon Sword from him, but at the last moment, Anton Mercer's humanity awakened inside him and he chose to spare his son's life. Trent also recognized that he was free from this control and joined his team of Power Rangers.
Let's do this!
A-Squad Rangers. Well, just like Ninja Storm, Power Rangers SPD was quite a famous season of the franchise, and it was widely loved and appreciated all over the world. I bet you guys still remember those days watching SPD on TV so vividly, and I bet you share the same feelings. However, in SPD, or Space Patrol Delta, Power Rangers had two squads, the A Squad and the B Squad. B Squad is the OG Power Rangers that we're most familiar with. But you know, A Squad was actually the more experienced, senior version of the Rangers, but they were heavily corrupted. Power Rangers SPD aired in 2005 on ABC Kids Block in the US. The A Squad Rangers were led by Red Ranger Charlie, played by Gina Varela. They also had 4 other Elite Rangers, like Blue, Green, Yellow, and Pink. They were very successful in their combat and highly trained officers who completed all kinds of dangerous missions. They were basically the role models of B Squad, who'd eventually replace them. So in the beginning, while they were fighting a battle against the evil alien warlord Emperor Grum, they disappeared very mysteriously. They were so trusted that nobody had any suspicion of them. Everyone thought they either disappeared or got captured by Grum. But the truth was that they actively sided with the Emperor, and it was not any mind manipulation or things like that, but a conscious choice made by the team. They were innately corrupted and highly ambitious, so very naturally they sought more power and got greedy. However, despite having so much strength and years of experience, their sinister purpose didn't work out. The B Squad Rangers challenged them in a battle and defeated them to establish order once again.
Cosmic Gateway, activate!
Ollie Akana. So, ending this list with a more recently released Power Rangers show that you may or may not have heard about, Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. Well, many of you guys still root for the Power Rangers show, and that's why I'm making this video. But it's been a while since we've seen a really well-made Power Rangers series. Cosmic Fury, or its previous installment, Dino Fury, were both pretty commendable shows for Power Rangers, and there were some betrayals here and there. Before it was released in 2023 on Netflix, Cosmic Fury had a previous installment called Dino Fury that got released in 2021 on Nickelodeon. And the one Ranger I'm going to talk about is Ollie Akana, the Blue Dino Fury Ranger played by Kai Moya. The Fury Rangers mainly protect Earth by using ancient technology connected to powerful creatures known as Sporix. Now, Ollie, amongst all, was highly intelligent, logical, and very scientific. His brain was so sharp that it invited all kinds of evil. Although he was a skeptical person, he became the one who got mind-controlled by Zed, who captured him, trying to exploit his powers to destroy the Rangers. Ollie became very cold and cunning under the spell, and began to use the weaknesses of the Rangers against them. However, the rest of his team soon realized that Ollie was under the control of the villain, so they helped him gain back his conscience. And once Ollie regained his senses, it was over for Lord Zed.
Laser arrows.
Alright guys, this list is over right here, and I know there's still more to talk about because Power Rangers is a pretty big franchise with lots of characters scattered around this universe. So if you've enjoyed this discussion, please let us know in the comments about your favorite Power Ranger that turned into an enemy. Until then, goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one.